I'm Damien, and I'm going to talk to you guys about a time when I experienced some type 4 emotions, a type 4 emotional mindset. I'm not saying I am a type 4, I'm not saying I'm not a type 4. We all experience the full gamut of emotions sometimes. And so this is a time when I had a certain experience, was like, oh, this is very 4-ish. Anyway, so what happened was, it happened today actually, and I was working as a road traffic controller, which is a job that is very, like, it changes a lot. It's very casual. They work at different job sites, and the job sites might be different every day. Anyway, so today I was working with 2 different traffic controllers. Never worked with them before. Actually, I had worked with one of them before, sorry. I meant, like, I don't normally work with them, and I worked with one like a year ago or something, and the other one I'd never worked with before. And so our job was to help these people that were making the footpath, so digging up like cracks in the footpath and putting down new concrete. And our job was just to help them, help the pedestrians walking by on the road, help these work trucks get off and off the footpath, all this type of stuff. And so what happened was that, like, I was working with these 2 women traffic controllers. One was young, one was old. And so there's 2 levels of traffic control. There's the person that is pretty much in charge of where the other traffic controllers stand and do, and that person puts out the signs, and the other 2 people, they have a stop and slow bat, which they flip the stop traffic or make traffic go slow, that type of thing. And anyway, so there was power dynamics at play, because the older woman was the higher level traffic controller, and so she was supposedly in control of us. Now, there's not a lot of control in that, we might never work with her again. We can ask not to work with her, that sort of thing. But for today, she's the manager, and the younger woman, I suppose, didn't have much experience as a traffic controller at all. Now, I have worked with the older woman before, and she's very aggressive and dominating. And I was aware of this. Basically, I thought she was crazy in the past. She'd done really crazy things, very dangerous things involving the traffic when I worked for her in the past. And as soon as I saw it, I was working for her today, because I haven't worked with her for like a year. I was like, oh man, this is going to be rough. Like, I just got to avoid this person, which I did pretty successfully. And she's very, terse, like not good to get along with. That sort of very hostile person to everyone. And I knew pretty much immediately that the power dynamic was going to be, this young woman was going to be following the older woman around, trying to get along with her, trying to appease her. And I knew that the older woman was going to be doing crazy, stupid shit, like annoying the actual workers that are making the concrete. And I knew she'd be talking in that really harsh, bogan is what we say, but it means just like a real low class voice and accent, and just saying horrible, really gross shit, which she did, like about sex and stuff. And she's like, which it's common sort of language from a certain type of person. So none of this is surprising, right? And it's not like I'm there thinking to myself, oh no, it's so disgusting, she's talking like that. It's just another day at the office. And but the thing was, I knew with the power dynamic that this other woman was going to be, the younger one was just going to be sucking after her ass, because she was going to see this older woman who has that managerial position as being the center of power, and she's going to want to appease her, which is exactly what happened. And it was all very apparent, right? Like, this was what was going to go down. And it did go down like that. And a lot of it was because the younger woman had very little experience. Maybe this was one of the first few jobs she ever had in traffic control. And she just wanted to survive. And she didn't realize how crazy this older woman was. Like, this older woman, I knew, I've seen the stuff she'd done, like really dangerous stuff. And I actually met her in a different company, which I would say she probably got fired from. But the industry in traffic control, it's very easy to get a job because there's a lot of construction happening at the moment. And so she got hired by this other company, and I was just like shocked to see her today. And I was just like, oh man. And so I'm avoiding her, and I know the other woman is going to be chasing after her. And I'm thinking about this young woman. I'm thinking, man, I feel sorry for her, because just imagine chasing after that horrible old woman all day, who's just a total nut job. Pretty much refusing to work. Like, there's all sorts of things she was supposed to do, this older woman, which she didn't do. And she could get away with a lot because she, you know, she herself tried to get along with the construction workers and get them on her side, you know, by telling her gross jokes and stuff. And anyway, like, all of that is just another day in the office. But I could see that what was happening with this younger woman, and how she was just clinging on to the apron of the older woman, hoping to be treated right based on her clinging. And the older woman was probably swearing at everyone, because the older woman and the younger woman were in this ute together, in a car together, basically a pickup truck type thing together. And when they drove around the site, and I knew that they'd probably given me shit because, you know, because I was there basically. Like, that's this older woman, that's what she does. I'd seen her before. She just piles, and there's plenty of people like her who I've seen. She just piles shit on people. I knew that the younger woman would find that also very sort of like intimidating, in the sense that she doesn't want to be attacked like that and given shit to, but also she finds the power dynamic is kind of set up by that. Well, is encouraged, the power dynamic is encouraged by that, because it's like the older woman gets to give people shit, and the younger woman is sort of towed in line by that. Like, it's like, you know, you got to watch your step, because I know who the cunts are, or the assholes are, and make sure you're not one of them, sort of thing. You know, there's undertones in the way that they do these things. And I knew that this was the day that the younger woman would be having, sitting there silently as the older woman just abused everyone. Really, because she's probably an alcoholic, if not all sorts of other drugs. But anyway, like these are real people, right? Like, you can talk PC and not mention certain words and whatever, but when you get down to the nitty gritty, this is what happens in reality. And I knew this was what the young woman's day was going to be like, and what was happening, and I could see what was going on, you know, all of that. And at the end of the day, the older woman in the pickup truck, you know, it only seats two, drives up towards me, and it's her and the younger woman in it. And she tells me, oh, you can go home now. they're just packing up. And I'm like, yeah, okay, no worries, see ya. And I knew, because I was talking to the older woman, they're both still sitting in their car. And I went to wave, and I knew the younger woman isn't going to wave back. I knew she wasn't going to wave back, because I knew that, like, being sitting next to that older woman and just the intimidation of everything would have scared the shit out of her. And the older woman would have dumped tons of shit on me, not because I did anything wrong, but she would have dumped it on anyone else that was there. It was just as a way to set herself up as I give people shit because I'm the boss to the younger woman. And I knew that, like, if I waved to the younger woman, she wasn't going to react at all, because she would just be too scared to react. You know, because she doesn't want to be waving back, because she's had the whole day of listening to the older woman dump shit on me and dump shit on other people, and she's just too scared to do anything, especially because the older woman would have been dumping shit on me just because I was the other traffic controller, right? There was 3 traffic controllers there. Older woman, young woman, and me. And so by dumping shit on me, like, the older woman establishes herself high in the hierarchy. That's what she's trying to do. Realistically, this is all in her head. But anyway, to the younger woman, it probably did work. It probably did have the desired effect. And the younger woman would be like, she would be afraid to wave back at me or say goodbye, because she wouldn't want to be seen as, like, too friendly to me, right? Because I'm the person that this older woman has been keeping shit on. But even though the older woman's acting totally nice to me and that she's saying, see you later, thanks for the day, I knew the younger woman was too scared still, because that's the older woman's prerogative, right? It's like the younger woman knows that, can see that the older woman's being nice to me and saying goodbye, but she knows she's also shit on me all day, and so she wants to show the older woman that she isn't condoning me. You know, she isn't on my side. She's not doesn't want to align with me, right? She wants to stay aligned with the other woman, so she's too afraid to wave back. And so I know she's not going to wave. She's not going to wave at me, but I do it anyway. I give it a wave. She's looking right at me. I say, see you later, bye. And my wave is, like, pretty much directed at the younger woman. And I think I was pretty much looking at the younger woman at that point. And that in itself was, like, I could have said a name and given her a wave, the younger woman. See you later, Olivia. Made it more targeted just at her. But that's kind of giving her a little out, I only just sort of looked at her and waved, and she didn't do anything back. She just was like this. You could see, it's just the frozen rabbit that's just there, clinging on, hoping to survive. And that's what actually happened, right? But in that moment, there was other feelings in me, right? There was this feeling of, like, I've been overlooked. I don't know if overlooked is... Yeah, overlooked is the right word. Well, it's one of the right words. There was this feeling of ignored. Ignored? Yeah, ignored. Like, the younger woman, in not acknowledging my wave, was... Because we're really close. Like, they pulled their car right up to me. And it was right in front of me, the two of them. I was, like, in the center of their car. And it was like, the car was like maybe, I don't know, less than 2 meters away from me. And so in her not acknowledging my wave, ignoring me, and in the way it was ignored, like, she was still looking at me, right? Like, it wasn't like she could have not seen me. She was looking right at me. the expressionlessness on her face, because she actually didn't care about me at all, that younger woman. She didn't give the slightest shit about me. That's nothing I saw in that look. It wasn't like she detested me or hated me or anything like that. It was, she didn't care about me at all. I was like, you know, a cutout man, that man from the toilet. You know, you see on a toilet, it says gentlemen's toilets or ladies' toilets. I was just like this generic nobody. And I could see that in her face, like I meant nothing to her. And because all that meant to her was trying to survive by getting on the side of this old woman. She thought, this is where the power is, this is what I gotta do, this is how I get by. And then this guy, I was nobody. I was just a you know, like an obstacle on the road. I didn't mean anything at all to her, and it was just this blank stare of just looking right through me. And I could see that, like her looking right through me and not giving the slightest shit about me. because and a lot of it came from just the intimidation she had suffered, right, from being around this horrible old lady. But her reaction to it was bad. Like she didn't have the ability to realize what was actually happening. And okay, this is a crazy drunk. We're in an industry where the manager changes every day. One day you're the manager, the next day someone else is the manager. It's kind of roll a dice thing. It's like, it's all up in the air. But anyway, it doesn't mean anything. And this is just an old crazy woman. but so I know all that's happening, right? Obviously this young woman doesn't know any of that because this is all new to her. And so, like, what that part of me that felt like this woman's totally looking through me, that existed. But obviously that wasn't the only thing I was feeling. Like, I was aware of the broader situation, but I was still feeling those feelings of just being looked through, being nothing to someone, not being noticed, not being considered, being disregarded. And this is a feeling that type 4s hate. This is what they really don't want, like that. And they rile against that. They do everything they can not to be in that position. And I was in this emotional place of knowing that I was being looked past, ignored, seen through in a sense that you know, I wasn't really there. You know, in the looked past sense, I was standing right there, but no one was noticing. Yeah, and so that's like type 4s feel that all the time, right? Because they're massive oversensitivity to feeling that. And I felt that, like, and I was like, oh, this is a type 4 feeling. So yeah, it's just a moment of knowing what it's like. Feel like a type 4. They feel that all the time. And when you have these experiences where you do feel what it's like to be another type, or even if you feel what it's like to be your own type in a really concentrated, extreme sense, like it helps you understand other people that are that type. You know. Anyway, that's about it.